Welcome to Adapt Crypto, where we bring you the hottest gems. Thank you very much for tuning in. I just want to caveat the next information that this is not financial advice, and this is to only be used as an educational resource. At Adapt Crypto here, we bring the hottest gems, the gems that nobody's really discovered yet. We're getting in before a lot of the big name YouTubers are too. Join us in our social media platforms, and let's crack into it. Are you sick of dirty fiat, but you still need to buy clothes, need to get a new pair of sneakers, or maybe you just want to be able to buy some noise-cancelling headphones because there's a domestic next door? Well, I have a project for you to keep an eye on. Okay, so the project I have for you is the e-commerce sector industry. And as you know, it is massive with a staggering 9 trillion market cap of 2019. And we're seeing a continual growth of about 15% each year. We have Amazon at 1.5 trillion. We have Alibaba at 150 billion. We have Pinduoduo over 200 billion. And we have Shopify at about $150 billion. This is a huge market, a huge industry. And I'm excited to see whatever project can sort of bring crypto to that industry. And we've seen a few of them sort of come up already, but they're not necessarily an Alibaba or an Amazon, right? They're in-betweeners, in-between services that connect your cryptocurrency to the services that are already out there, like the Amazon. So I'm very bullish on whatever can sort of provide a cryptocurrency version. And the one that I have for you already is Bitcoin Vend. It's going to have a crack at this market. And the reason why I chose this is because it is not just a small service, it has a all-in-one sort of package, and it is claiming that it's going to focus on simplicity, and it's going to be suitable for those who are new to cryptocurrency. So some of the cool features that I really like the Bitcoin Vend, and there are lots. So I'll dive into what we need to look out for to ensure that they can deliver what they're promising right now, which is huge, mind you. I know that some people don't really care for e-commerce, but if they can really nail what they're promising, it has a chance to really steal a huge amount of market cap. And some of the features that we are looking at the moment is peer-to-peer exchanges. Merchants can also set up online stores through their platform, free payments to contacts. So if you have a mate that's on the app and you want to swing him some dollars, you could just send him some Bitcoin Vend. You can also exchange your crypto for cash, and they have about 30 different cryptocurrencies that they're planning on having on their platform. You can withdraw whenever you want, so there's no restrictions there. They also have barcode scanning, so this will allow you to, if you want to send your money to your cryptocurrency to someone, you say bring up your barcode, you can do your quick scan, and it's sent. It also has an auto convert feature. I won't go into too much depth, but what I'm looking for with this claim is that no coiners can sort of bring it up and they can just sort of focus on the fiat amount, which just helps for simplicity. Same with merchants as well. Also, one thing I like is that you can be able to connect your Amazon API directly into their service. And some of the future features that they're going to have is you can withdraw as fiat, you can deposit as fiat, crypto loans, and some cryptocurrency physical cards as well. This is going to be a significant step, and what they're going to need for it is essentially some sort of financial or banking license, depending on what country you're in as well, because they can't provide a service to everyone in the world. But right now they're claiming to tackle a lot of things here. Okay, so let's talk about the token utility, because we all see projects out there that claim that they're going to do all this stuff, and then they forget to put their token in the middle of it and give it that that perfect utility. So the utility of this token is going to be for users of their platform. If you hold their token, you get discounts on all their services. So that's no-brainer. Actually, pay no fees at all. So that's interesting. Increase their trust score. So if you hold more tokens, they're going to give you a bonus. So it's like your review where you have like Airbnb, for instance. If you hold a certain amount of tokens, there's a certain amount of trust, because if that person is going to do something shifty, it's like, well, you've done something shifty, and they can hold you accountable for the amount of tokens with the amount of tokens that you have. I need to understand more about that, but it's interesting that they're going to claim this. They also have a mediator feature as well. I'd be pretty interested to sort of see this. So if there was a dispute between merchant and retail, you have a certain amount of tokens, you can pay with those tokens for a mediator to come in and solve the issue. I'd like to know what sort of qualifications these mediators have. It'd be interesting to sort of watch. They also have like a vote on technology upgrades. So, it's a bit of governance essentially. And you also, if you hold a certain amount of tokens, you can run a node on their network, which should be very interesting. There's no real detail that I can see just yet, but the incentive for running a node is that you get paid in a certain percentage of all the fees and transactions happening on their platform. Okay, so the tokenomics. This is something that's always sort of difficult to sort of keep track of. And it's because most projects have different terminology and jargon every time that they launch their product. So I don't blame people for not being well knowledgeable in this area, but hopefully I can help you guys. So what I'm looking at here, you have, the percentages on the left, which is their allocation to each of the team, advisors, community marketing fund, foundation funds. And what you see there is how much will be unlocked on the TGE being launch essentially on Uniswap, where you can start exchanging. So what you see here in this column is that the private round will get 20% allocation initially. They'll also have the token offering on TrustSwap of 30% initially. And then you have the Uniswap allocation of 100%. And on the far right column, you have these what they're calling cliffs. So within the vesting schedule, cliff means, in this context, I'm assuming that it means that for the first 3 months, for most of them, they cannot touch their tokens. After that 3 months, they can then touch and transact or swap a little bit of their Bitcoin Vend. I don't have that the exact breakdown here, but what this is essentially, the takeaway from this is for the first 2 months, there's not a large amount of access to these tokens. What I'm gathering from this is that there is a small amount of tokens that's going to be available on Uniswap to exchange, and then after that, they're going to start diluting that supply more. In that first 2 months, I think we could see price action for the token price. So they'll have an initial market cap of 975K with the BCVT, bit of a tongue twister, price there of only 10 cents. So I'm expecting in the short term a bit of a 10x. Now, with that being said, as an investor, you really need to pick your entry. And why I'm excited about this product is because some of the market cap and the use cases for this type of service is huge. And I'll just compare quickly some of the other market caps already within the space. You can look up Zelwyn that currently has a $314 million market cap with a product up and running. I'm not too familiar with it at the moment. They have Chimpion, which is 101 million market cap, but they don't have a product up and running at this stage. And then you have Shopping.io, or SPI, which is more of a middleman between you as a retail and buyer to Amazon, eBay, and other services. Maybe that's the way to go, but what Bitcoin Vend sort of does that stands out from Shopping.io is that it provides an all-in-one service. So that's why I'm more excited about Bitcoin Vend. So let's discuss the roadmap. So Q1, we have a focus on the token launch. Q2 is where we get into the juicy release of their application launch on Google Play and the App Store. With this, they can really use a combination of their product and their marketing at the same time, which is good. But what I want to see is, and I'll talk more about it too, what I'll be looking for within the app when it launches. Now, Q3, Q4 is pretty big actually, because if they can deliver on what they're saying they're going to have in Q3 at the back end of this year, it's going to be huge. So they're going to apply for the regulatory licensing acceptance for a banking license. This is big, so they're going to be a bank. They're also going to have some in-house merchant withdrawal and deposits for Europe and the US, so crypto to fiat. They have additional app features, with their card and their crypto collateralized loans. So there's a bit of DeFi in there as well. And they're going to have a high spec website. So hopefully, I'd like to see the website sort of up and running with the app and its products before then. I think that they're saying they're gonna it's just an upgrade. They're also going to do an educational journey as well of what is crypto, why you need to use it. And I won't go too much into 2022, but I am pretty bullish on Q3 and Q4, and I will be following very closely. Now, I'm not going to dive into the team too much, but the team, for one thing, is not anonymous, so that's always a good thing, right? But they have some promising experiences, and they seem to have a strong team. So I believe they are capable of achieving what they're promising, but we'll have to see as they release more information, as they provide updates. Now, I'm going to wrap this up, but this is the important part and what I'll be looking for to make sure that my money is treated best. So one of the things that they need to deliver on is that simplicity. We all know why Apple does so well is because they've created a phone that's simple for everyone to use, right? So their app needs to be just as simple, and they need to make it simple for not only the people that are marketing their products, but the user as well. And that's very important. I'll also be looking out for large partnerships of who's actually keen to use their service. I suspect there'll be a bit of a slump in price after launch. So you'll see the bots do their thing right after peaks, it comes back down, and then it does some accumulation, or maybe there's a sell-off. People will be waiting for an update, and crypto investors are incredibly impatient. It is baffling how impatient. If it takes a month to release a product, then they're already dumping their bags because they hear about something that's already it's 5xing as they hold a cryptocurrency that is doing nothing whilst a product is in development. And I'll also be following the team very closely. What I want to see from them is their competitiveness. I want to see them really doing things better than what's already out there. And I want to see their engagement with other companies telling them why they need their product. So there you have it, team. Thank you very much for tuning in today at Adapt Crypto. I bring you the hottest gems, and I bring you stuff that has long-term potential as well. I'll be investing. I might do a little bit of swing trading initially. However, if I can get in cheap, I will be holding it, and then I'll be looking to sort of see how will the price action come about when they release their product. And if they release a product, I'll be a long-term holder and potentially a member. If you want to hear more stuff like this a lot sooner, we've been talking about this for a few weeks now, join us in the Telegram. We are very active and very proactive in finding the latest gems.